SideScrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/SideScrollers. It's time for SideScrollers on YouTube.com with me, Stuttering Craig. I like movies that have sand in them. Wow.
He doesn't like it in his mouth.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
I don't like the texture in my mouth.
What? And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/SideScrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for SideScrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to SideScrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv. What's going on, everybody? Hey! Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's SideScrollers. Here we are, starting at 11 o'clock Central every single day. Man, oh man, are we going to have a good one today because, look, we have great guests every day. But every time Melonie's on, we know it's going to be great. Every single time. Not to say that whenever Cam's not on, it's not great. All right? Camelot, right? But we're going to have him on soon. Or when we have Yumi in the movies on, it's not great. But Melonie brings the heat. And the heat's going to be brought in today. It's already been brought in. Okay. You know who's not joining us today? Travis Keys. He's holed up in his bed watching the show on his laptop. No mic, no camera, ready to go. Let's check him out. There he is. He's just hanging out in the background. You know who is? It's Blabs. Hi, Blabs.
Hi, is broughton even a word?
Oh, it's already been brought in.
I was like, what does it even mean, broughton? It's like brought, you bring,
You ever
broughton.
seen Not Another
Gang
Teen
gang?
movie?
What?
Do you know Not Another Teen Movie? You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I
before?
haven't seen that in years, though.
Well, that's where I got it from. It's from
Chris
when
Evans probably says it.
No. It's when the white cheerleader is going against the black cheerleader, and she's like, "Oh, you better bring it. Oh, I'm going to bring it. Oh, it's already been brought in," or something along those lines. You know,
And clipped. Thank you.
Oh, you know it absolutely. Has it ever been brought in, Melonie?
Yes, the heat is brought in. We're burninating all the people right now.
Burninating the countryside. Let's go. That's a reference to Trogdor. Do you know Trogdor,
Yes.
Melonie?
Yes, I do.
You know who doesn't? Let me tell you. I'm going to give you one guess who doesn't know who Trogdor is. Melonie.
Who? Blabs? Oh, she doesn't know.
That's not me, that's
Burninating
Patricia.
all the
I
people.
don't know what you're talking about.
Homestar Runner, man, classics.
It's so sad to hear that.
I loved Coach Z. Coach Z was the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, there's so much going on in Trogdor and Homestar Runner, and I mean that Blabs. There's going to be a time Melonie, we do this series called Blabs Versus, and she plays a bunch of classics games.
Mhm.
And like she played Castlevania and Mega Man, and yesterday she played Sonic the
Nice.
Hedgehog for the first time.
Okay.
We need to
I'm
do
new.
we need to do Blabs versus the internet. Where
Yes.
we just introduce her to classic internet culture.
Some Newground stuff. Homestar
Yeah.
Runner.
I
All
think
right.
That'd be so good. So
That
I'm
good.
sounds
totally down.
great.
Absolutely. And really, I mean, we're probably going to get flagged for copyright on this, but I can't not hear the Trogdor theme right now. So let's hear it. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's stick and go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Trogdor was a man. I mean, he was a dragon man.
What the hell?
Maybe he was just a dragon.
What is this?
And now you know.
I believe Hot Topic at one point was selling Trogdor shirts too.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Listen, those who know. And if you do know, do me a favor. hit the thumbs up button right now. Really appreciate that. You guys, welcome on out. It's going to be a great show today. Starting off with Homestar Runner. My God. Homestar Runner and Trogdor.
Bringing it back.
Melonie, how did you ever go to homestarrunner.com just to watch?
I did. I love the why do I forget his name? The emails. So a guy who made up Trogdor.
Yeah, Strong Bad.
Strong Bad, yes. I would check in periodically for Strong Bad emails. It was great times.
Oh, it's just so good. So good.
And the Teen Girl Squad.
Sounds like a chipmunk. Sounds like me.
Listen, it was a time, Blabs, of unlimited creativity on the internet where any ounce of originality was rewarded with page views and clicks. It was great. Unlike today, where you can just stand in front of your webcam and say ooh woo and react to
Or
and
pretend
react
like
to,
an NPC.
right.
Did you see Mo doing that with Flawed with Nicolas Cage?
Oh,
Because
really?
an NPC was Nicolas Cage. Yeah, she's like, not the bees. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. I've got to find that.
Wait. So you pick your NPC, you get to act.
Apparently it was punishment. Apparently Flawed was punishing her and she had to be an NPC as Nick Cage.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
It's great. It's great. I'm sure that when they got the glizzies, the hot dog, she was like, yum, yum. Whatever.
She didn't do that.
Oh, that's awesome. Claude actually has a really good question. He wants to know, do you know
Yes,
what a
I have
Rickroll
been Rickrolled a whole bunch of times. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ridiculous. All right, man. Look, we got a good one today. In case you can't tell, the energy is high. It is Friday. We have a call-in show today, which at the tail end of the show, you, our friendly patrons, have an opportunity to be a part of the show the last 30 minutes or so. And if you want to ask Melonie a question, you can. Ooh. Yeah, should be good.
Spicy.
So,
Go.
the link is not out yet. The link will not be out yet, but it'll be. I'll let you guys know when it goes out. I'll put it out about 5 to 10 minutes before we start accepting calls. Just make sure you have your webcams on, because we will not let you on if you don't have your webcam on, because we have faces. We expect you to have faces. Have your mic ready and be ready to come and bring some good stuff. So we're just so you know, we're all doing great. You don't need to ask us how we're doing. Just we're doing great.
Yeah, someone calls in.
See,
Hi, how are you? That's your big question. How are you?
Oh my goodness. So, Melonie, you done anything to piss anybody off lately?
I mean, kind of more or less the same stuff. I feel like I've played my hand already. I've said the offensive slurs that I use in my day-to-day life already. So it's like, what else can I do to really shock people? They're used to it by now. So kind of cruising at the moment for now.
Looking for that shock value?
I mean, I feel like I've played my hand. I don't know what else I can do. I mean, I do know what else I can do, but that's kind of a little bit more out of my character. So I think I've stayed within the realms of my myself at this point. It's just the newcomers that see it that get offended now, but everybody else is used to it.
Snowflakes.
Yeah.
It's so funny. You're talking about like doing things that are out of your character and stuff. And we've been kind of kicking around the idea of this like only blabs idea.
Uh-huh.
And we should start a platform called Only Smiles, to where you're not rewarded for showing anything else, but you just got to smile. And it's just built around happiness, Hey.
That'll crash and burn like threads. People like
People like anger.
They do. They like it. They can and yeah. I don't want to get ahead of myself on other topics we're talking about today, so I'll just leave it at that for now.
So Threads is not on the docket, but if you want to talk about Threads, we can talk about Threads. I saw their user base is down like 80%.
Oh, it's insane. It's just, I think that's the thing is a lot of people pretend like they just want positivity and that's it, and that's why they complain about Twitter or now X. Oh, it's too negative. Oh, there's too much negativity. Oh, this and that. And then, okay, here's a platform where you're not even allowed to be too negative, and it's positivity, happiness, and it's not fun. I think partially because it's just not really genuine, because people aren't always in a bubbly mood 24/7. And part of what makes Twitter and things interesting like that is sometimes we get on there and we vent, or sometimes we share our more critical opinions about things. It's not all this forced positivity, so it's not fake. So yeah.
fake positivity. It's
ridiculous. Did you ever try Threads, Melonie?
Yeah, I still post on there sometimes. I just treat it like a live journal. Do you know what that is, Blabs?
Yeah.
Allow me to mansplain here. Blabs has
Oh.
no idea. Blabs has no idea
I'll
what
just
live
A
post
journal
live
is.
like-
journal. It's just you put something out on the internet. Is that not it?
Yeah,
Is
but
this
I mean, or
Okay,
like
okay,
emo
look.
Tumblr or something. I'm just posting like my like anime stuff, emo stuff sometimes.
So listen, Melanie, yesterday, Blabs and I were playing Sonic, and I had to ask Blabs if I was like, "Are you really 3 years old?" Because there are things. She's so innocent. By the way,
Aw.
Melanie, I don't know if you know this because I think that you're innocent as well. But Blabs recently learned what a BBC is.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what that. I've heard that.
Yeah.
I just
But
thought
there
it was
are
the
a lot
British
of-
Broadcast Corporation, but no. No.
I have heard of that.
No.
So yeah,
It
I
was-
think Blabs might be more innocent than me.
Yeah. I learned what Adult Swim was the other day.
Oh my.
I thought it was actually swimming at the gym at 3 a.m.
That's
How was I supposed to know?
hilarious.
Who uses that? There was this chick that on eThought watched, and she was all like, "Thanks to Adult Swim, I love watching anime now." And I'm like, what does swimming have to do with anime? Like, they're not even the same realm. So yeah, I discovered that Adult Swim doesn't mean actually swimming.
You
Okay.
need protected Blabs. We must protect Blabs at all costs. to
Right.
Preserve her innocence.
And like I'm over here like spinning my brain over here like a hamster wheel as you were talking about Adult Swim, and I'm like, is there another meeting for Adult Swim that I'm missing out on? Like,
I just thought it was swimming,
No,
like
it's
an adult swim session. You know, like only adults swimming. No kids allowed at 3 a.m. No, do
Yeah.
laps.
that's why it's called that, because it's for adults, Blabs. It's for
Well,
adults.
I didn't watch Cartoon Network as a kid, so I was like, "What the fuck is Adult Swim?" I don't know.
It's,
I
I mean,
didn't have cable.
it's awesome. I mean, this is awesome. Like, and you're right. You're right, Melanie. We must protect Blabs at all costs. Protect her innocence. And it's true. It's true. So sad. Speaking of threads, by the way, here's an article from TechCrunch that they're like right after it launched. Threads now has 1/5 the weekly active user base of Twitter, and this is on July 16th. It's like Twitter's the best. Instagram's thread launch has been an overnight success, topping 100 million users within days of its arrival. Okay, it's like, wow, this is awesome. Here's the article a couple days ago. Threads plummeted 80%. Uh-oh. It's like,
Woo.
so
why? I play kazoo, Craig.
oh, okay, hold on, here we go. Melanie, I don't know if you know this, but you're speaking with a visitor of the Kazoo Museum in Beaufort,
Oh.
South Carolina.
Mhm.
I have multiple kazoos on my desk. that,
Okay,
He's
fancy.
a kazoo whore now.
I mean, I have a red one. I have a black one. I have a gold one. I have a purple one.
You have
It's like Pokemon Go.
BBC,
Gotta get 'em all.
Big Black Kazoo.
Kazoo's
Is
not
it
with the
Kazoo
C.
It is today.
I got adapters for my BBC over here. There we go. You can put that on there. Whoop woo woo. And if you want to make your BBC even BBC, or you can pop this on, look like you're smoking a pipe.
There we go.
Oh, you could smoke your BBC over here. All right, that's enough of that. Put my kazoo down.
You're gonna smoke your big. Anyway, go on. So bad.
All right. Look, we got some super chats to hit as well as some memberships. Look at this. Thomas came in, says, appreciate the gifted membership. Melanie is the best. My Twitch username is Burninator in it. Best era of the internet. Thanks, Thomas.
Love
Appreciate
it.
that. Let's go. Hayden came in with the $20 super chat. Let's stink and go. Says off topic. That is SideScrollers. Melanie, would you consider joining the cast of Geeks and Gamers Tabletop Secret of the Frost Maiden? Your rude eye said you were down before, but some stuff had come up. Just curious. Much love, guys.
I'll consider it. I'm just like, I try to balance my own stuff at this time. I don't even have a stream schedule right now. So maybe one of these days. Also, it is kind of daunting to try to do tabletop because I haven't played a bunch of like tabletop stuff in general. So it does feel out of my element, but we'll see. Maybe one of these days.
It is fun. I'm
Mhm.
just saying.
I'm
'Cause I
sure.
did those 2 seasons with G&G last year. And it was really
Okay.
fun.
I'll-
Yeah,
I'll-
I was a complete noob. I had no idea what I was doing, but I think you'd be okay.
Oh, okay.
I've never played.
All
I will
right.
Yeah,
say-
Rudy's really nice. He doesn't yell at anyone. He's good.
That's good.
I think that'd be fun to do. Like if we could
Mhm.
do our own little side scrollers group of
Mhm.
tabletop, that'd be fun. I think that'd be good because I don't know the first thing about tabletop gaming at all, but I do like the
Mhm.
idea of kind of crafting your own story and
Mhm.
being a good guy or a bad guy, and kind of like Alex yesterday. By the way, Melonie, we had an interview with Alex Stein yesterday. I know you're familiar with
I
Alex.
love that. That's awesome. He's
Yeah.
great.
It was fun. It was fun. Quick hour and a half flew by, and it was one of those things where he goes, I didn't know you were in the Dallas area, so now we
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Maybe-
Yeah, I sometimes forget. Like I even forgot that too. I forget
Yeah.
that there's actually a lot of us out here.
we got a pretty good group here, like in
We
the
do.
Dallas area.
Yeah.
We should. I don't know. We should all get together and do some sort of like monster.
Oh,
something.
yeah.
That'd be good.
For
Dallas meetup.
sure.
Yeah, that'd be
Let's
good.
do it.
And DMAC Ski came and says, once upon a time, I walked into a GameStop and saw this cute girl talking about video games. How dare you just assume gender? It's ridiculous.
My
that was
pronouns.
that was when I realized that girls like video games. Years later, I see the same girl scarfing down a stick of butter. Thanks, Mel. DMAC, thank you very much. You guys want to tell the pronoun story real quick before we got started?
Yeah, Mel.
Yeah, so I'm not really that versed on Harry Potter. I know a little bit. I watched the first movie. And I just see my Patronus. I'm like, is that a play on my pronouns?
It's literally my Patronus is like a fox terrier, and she's like, "Is that your pronoun?" Sure. I'm like, and don't worry, guys, because Craig called me a they them yesterday. He's like, "Add a they them." I was like, "What?" So
Uh-huh.
I don't
was
get
rough.
it. She's too pretty to be a they them. I keep saying.
I
Come
gotta
on
get
now.
like the bull rings. I gotta like gain 50
You gotta gain a
pounds,
bunch
not
of weight.
Shower. Yeah.
I-
Smelling, then I'll be okay.
maybe I'm just way too sensible about this, and I know this is going to be clipped but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. But please explain to me how one person can be a plural.
Right.
Please,
Exactly.
like it literally doesn't line up. It doesn't line up with the English language at all. But then again, what is the English language anymore? Because let's just change it all because that's fine.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
Abomination over on Rumble, who are growing every day. If you guys are watching over on Rumble, hit the thumbs up button and hit the follow button. Greatly appreciate that. Abomination, thank you very much. Says, media focuses too much on the immediate impact of something. A movie opened with 100 million. Threads got 100 million users. A show debuted on with 10 million viewers. It's all fluff and doesn't represent any value or longevity. Thank you, Abomination. A lot of truth in that. A lot of truth in that. It's all about sustaining for sure.
Yep.
And growing. And Chris came in and says, this summer in Texas needs to stop.
Oh
I'm
gosh,
melting.
for real, it's been insane.
It's like 60 here.
In
But
Guam?
leaves are changing. Yeah, in Guam. Leaves already changing.
Man, it's been pretty damn hot. And I'll say the one good thing about it being so hot here is I don't have to mow the grass that much. 'Cause it's all
True.
It just
dead.
dies.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, but once the rainy season starts, I don't know, we'll probably get some in September, maybe. After was it Labor Day? Is it Labor Day in September?
Yeah.
Is it whatever the holiday is there. It's either Labor Day or Memorial Day.
Memorial Day's May.
Okay, thank you.
I don't even know this stuff. It's like I'll know about a week in advance. I'm oh wow, a Labor Day's almost here. Neat.
Isn't it like early September? Let's see. Labor Day, September 4th.
Yes. So just for reference for those who like don't know, in like the Dallas area, the heat index today is 106. So like it's pretty damn hot. And
Yeah.
yeah. So like I've been in my wife has a minivan. What's up? And when you get in the minivan, it shows you like the temperature outside.
Mhm.
And when you're sitting there, like you'll turn on the car and it'll say like 118, 119 because it's on the concrete. It's pretty brutal. You definitely feel like you're in an oven at times for sure.
Yeah, my parents when I was staying with them over the weekend, man, we were fighting hard just to keep the chickens alive. Just constantly, like every hour, we're putting ice in their water. We're trying to give them more shade. It was a struggle.
Gotta keep those cocks
Does your
alive, man.
family have a farm?
Yeah, they have a little farm. They have chickens and a cow. That's
Yeah, you
it
told
right
me
now.
the Jersey.
Yeah, she's great, Daisy.
Have you guys just out of curiosity, have you guys seen these the Maui fires?
Yeah,
All that
I
stuff,
just
Southern
heard
Hawaii?
about that. That's sad.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Have you seen like the before and after pictures?
No, I
Mhm.
haven't.
Like,
It's rough.
so Melanie, you probably know this. Like living in Texas, we have tornadoes that come through.
Mhm.
And when you see the aftermath of these tornadoes, it always looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere. Right.
Right.
You're like, oh man, there's nothing out there. And like it took me, I don't know, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. It was like in my mid-30s, I was like, holy shit, there was something there at one point. Like that's why it looks like it's out in the
Right.
middle of nowhere, because there was something there and it
Yep.
all got destroyed.
Yep.
That's kind of what this the fires look like here. It's crazy, man, just to see the reactions to it. Here's actually a before and after I just pulled up of this fire in Maui. It's all like this.
My goodness, that is sad.
Yeah, it's crazy to see what's happened over there, man. It is.
Yeah.
It's
Look at the
nuts.
water all dried up, gone.
Wow.
I didn't even realize that. That's crazy. Yeah, that's all the sand right there. That's
Mm-hmm.
balls crazy, man. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. It just sucks for all those people out there, and
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see how they recover. But anyways, I'm sure we'll dump lots of our resources into there. So whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh yeah, and BHN64 came in with the $5 Rumble rant, simply saying, "Global warming is real." Well, thank you, BHN64. Appreciate that. And I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But then again, who really does? Chris B came in with the 2, says, Wizarding World gave me a magpie for my Patronus. I don't even know what that means. Blabs decode.
The magpie, the animal, a magpie.
Okay.
Is that a bird?
Yeah, isn't it?
I think so. Are they the
Some type of small bird? I thought.
magpies are cool though? They look kind of like crows, don't they? Oh, they're cute.
Let me
What's
see.
the
Yeah,
problem?
it's a small little bird.
They're
It's
so
cool.
cute.
It's got little blue feathers and stuff.
That sounds amazing.
I got a fox. Hence the
Oh,
fox terrier, 'cause I also have a
nice.
fox terrier. So it fits. The shoe fits. Wear it.
I have no idea what's even happening, but that's fine. I love
It's
it.
all good. Travis says the magpies attack people.
Oh,
That's great.
Look at that. You got great
That's
defense.
that's great. All right, let's get into this thing. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news. Let's go.
This is hard news.
Man, I am beyond excited, by the way. If you guys haven't, please head over to the SideScrollers Plays channel with the brand new spin-off channel where we have all sorts of gameplay over there. Blabs, I don't know if you heard this yesterday, but during the show, CDI Arcade, great community member, suggested we have a show called the Retro Game Police, where it's more or less Blabs versus, except it's me versus, and
Mhm.
Dan Bask is the person who puts together the retro gaming challenges. So it's like,
Yeah.
He'd be the one for that.
it'll be great, man. It'll be great. Anyways, but Paul Hadouken is going to create some amazing music, which is, he obviously did the hard news theme. So looking forward to that. Okay, let's get into this Twitter stuff, man, because they are finding their way into a lot of people's bad spaces. It seems like it was going so well for a little bit. Elon comes in talking about free speech and I'm going to allow this to be a free speech platform. We're going to compete with everybody and we're going to allow monetization, and now people are getting paid and yippity yay. Melanie, are you part of that monetization program on Twitter yet?
Yeah, I am. I just enrolled in it though, because I didn't even really look into it at first, and then everyone's like, "Oh, look at this! Look what I got paid! Look what I got paid!" I'm like, I guess I'll do this."
What do you need? 10,000 followers to do?
I
that?
don't know you needed a certain amount of reach. I think they just lowered that though, like yesterday, to like you need 5 million reach or something within the past 3 months.
Okay.
I don't know all of the requirements, but yeah.
Well-
I mean, it's not, that's the thing is people shouldn't get too excited about it, because unless you just have an astronomical reach, you're really not going to be making that much money. And I definitely am not going to encourage people who, just because you get accepted into it, don't spend your life away on Twitter.
Yeah.
You'd make more working at McDonald's.
I will say this: the Twitter monetization thing is really interesting because you see videos that blow up or tweets that blow up that are screen caps of other tweets or stolen
Right.
videos. Like, and this goes back to YouTube has this like overreaching copyright system.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see people take clips of podcasts and they'll post them on Twitter or X or whatever it is, and those blow up. Guess who's not making that money? That
Right.
podcast, right? It's somebody else monetizing the podcast. So somebody taking clips of the Joe Rogan podcast and posting it out there. They're the ones going to be making that money potentially.
Mhm.
I don't know. But either way, so Twitter's been doing a lot of interesting things that has kind of turned people's heads, and it's pissed off a lot of people. Obviously, there's well, you can't just allow anybody to speak whatever they want, and that's Elon Musk has said he is a free speech absolutist.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, his new CEO doesn't appear to be that way, as they have brought in CEO Linda Yaccarino, I guess is her name, and they had a Twitter Spaces yesterday, and she announced a new policy called freedom of speech, not reach. And I thought we'd listen to a few seconds of this. Melonie, I know you got this because I saw your reaction to this, but let's go and listen to this. And Blabs, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'm pretty sure we're all going to be on the same page here, but let's hear what she has to say.
Since acquisitions,
we have built brand safety and content moderation tools that have never existed before at this company. And we've introduced a new policy to your specific point about hate speech called freedom of speech, not reach. So if you're going to post something that's illegal or against the law, you're gone. Zero tolerance.
Your thoughts on that statement? You post something illegal or against the law, you're gone. Just general thoughts, Melonie?
I think if it's against the law, that's fair.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, if it's
Agreed.
illegal and against the law, that's fair.
mhm.
Everything here, I think, sounds fair up to this point. And Elon said, when he talks about free speech, he said, as long as it abides by the local laws and regulations of where you live,
Mhm.
right? Then he's cool with it. So
Right.
let's continue.
But more importantly, if you're going to post something that is lawful, but it's awful, you get labeled.
Okay. That's a really important sentence because number one, what is awful? Who determines what awful is?
Exactly.
And number two, you get labeled? You mean you get
Mhm.
like a Star of David put on you? You get what does that mean? You're labeled. And how do you remove that
Defines
label?
it.
An actual
defines it as
shadow
awful?
ban. Yeah.
Which is no better than what Twitter was before.
Yeah. I mean, just think about like during COVID, the mandatory, like the conversation about mandatory vaccines and stuff like that. Man, a lot of us who were speaking out back then against the mandates and all that. Oh, who's to say something else can't happen? And they like try to pull that again. It's like, oh, this is awful. This is dangerous. This is misinformation. Just look at how I just saw on Twitter today where it's like, oh yeah, doctors are allowed to prescribe ivermectin for COVID patients now. Well, back during the height of things, they were getting, this was called dangerous, So it's just like the science keeps changing all the time. So when you have this, oh, awful, someone just determining, oh, this is awful, that's awful, something like that can happen again.
Right. And I think you go back to whether it's the science, whether it's the way we think about race or sex or whatever. Go back to the golden example is always like Blazing Saddles, right? Let's say somebody was to post a clip, a 30-second clip of Blazing Saddles on Twitter. Is that awful content or is it awfully hilarious content? Right. And once again, who is the jury? Who's the judge when it comes to these things? Is it Elon? Is it Linda, the CEO of Twitter? And who's making these decisions? And
who's hiring these people to enforce it? Like, are they going to be, unbiased when they look at stuff, or are they going to be a certain political leaning and shun people who are still law-abiding citizens and they say something that you don't like? Who's going to enforce that? Like, it's literally saying law-abiding, but we don't like it, so we're going to slap a label on it. Like, why?
Right.
That makes no sense.
Abomination brings up a really good point over on Rumble with the Rumble rant. It says one state is already trying to make, quote, offensive speech illegal. If this passes, Twitter can use it as justification to call everything, quote, illegal. The First Amendment is absolute. And I obviously agree with that statement.
Yeah.
The idea of hate speech, right? It's still speech. Like, my thought on all of this is that let people speak. Let them say whatever they want to say, because ultimately what's going to happen is if people are idiots, it's going to be, people are going to see it and they're going to go, that guy's an idiot. He's a wacko. He's crazy. I don't want to associate with that guy,
Yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole misinformation thing too, because some people are like, oh, well, misinformation, this is dangerous. You're going to be hurting people. Well, if somebody tells you to drink dishwashing liquid, you can use your brain and say, wait a minute, that does not sound good for you. Let's not do that. Like even with the Tide Pod challenge that people were joking about, they wanted to act like this was a widespread thing, but it actually wasn't. It was more of a meme than anything. But we have brains. And if people are too dumb to use them and they're going to try every little thing that people suggest, then don't be on the internet.
Well, I mean, that's where we're moving to the point to where, I could say, like, you could be talking about Care Bear splabs, right? I could be like, that's awful. Awful is a very subjective thing. And then when it comes to speech, there's no subjectivity to it. Right, you can't. Like as Abomination said, it is an absolute thing. You should be able to say whatever you want, because someone will ultimately find something that you say offensive. And whether it's rules in Texas or rules in Michigan or rules in Afghanistan, right? It's going to be very hard for X or Twitter to enforce all the rules and laws of these different regions, countries, states, whatever it may be. Obviously, the crazy thing about it is Twitter, most of its users are outside of the United States. So it'll be interesting to see if me as a user in Texas says something, if they'll be able to be reached in Paris or whatever, because the rules in Dallas may be different than the rules in wherever, London. As we saw yesterday, or there was the viral clip of the 16-year-old, as Spoonie says, an autistic 16-year-old got arrested for telling the cops she looked like a lesbian, like her lesbian nana here in England. So we can't say too much.
Wow.
Yeah.
See that clip, Melonie?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Pretty much described perfectly. She was 16 years old. She's autistic. Yeah. She has some issues with people touching her, and she kind of would it's like a sensory overload type of thing.
Yeah.
And there was a cop who came in, and she had short hair. She's a decade ago it would have been described as butch, right? With kind of the bob haircut. And 16-year-old autistic girl just said, like, she kind of looks like she has an aunt that's a lesbian,
right?
And like, it's one of those things where it's like she was just saying, oh, she kind of looks like her, who is also a lesbian, and the cop took offense to it, and they arrested the 16-year-old girl.
Wow.
For hate speech. So that's where we're at.
Wow.
Yeah, that would, you should do a reaction to that on.
Doesn't that kind of make the cop homophobic?
I don't know.
That's too true. You don't like it? You're arrested.
Oh my gosh. Dude comes in with the Rumble rant over on Rumble, obviously. He says the problem is that different countries have different laws, and these big companies never put the resources into making sure Americans are ruled by American laws. We get affected by EU laws. It's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah, I think with certain things, like I know on Instagram, for example, if you play a certain song or use a certain song in a reel, it's like, oh, this is banned in this country because this song isn't allowed there or something. So it's just it won't take it off for everywhere, but just those specific
It
regions.
says it'll be blocked in
Mhm.
a list of countries. And you can appeal it, and then usually just they allow it afterwards. And then 6 months later, they'll be like, oh, this has been blocked again. I'm like, then why did you let me do it last time?
Right.
They just keep sending the appeal back. I was like, all right, here you go.
Extra Zero comes in and says, I'm hoping the Michigan law regarding misgendering sparks a landmark case in the Supreme Court. And we'll see how that goes. Thanks, Extra Zero. Appreciate that. That would be really good. Winterfell says, I don't even use Twitter, and this policy scares me. It starts social media, and it's a slippery slope from there. Free thought will be illegal.
Yeah, that's my thought too, because especially what's crazy is when you have these people simping for this kind of moderation to happen. It's like, dude, do you really want to turn into China? This is insane. I don't know how there isn't more pushback. And I think a lot of it is because they think that, oh, well, this CEO, she's on their side politically, so they think it's all going to be good. Well, it's all fun and games when they're enforcing things that you agree with, but that's just a dangerous, slippery slope.
Yeah, what happens when you don't disagree, when you actually disagree with what they're saying, then they're turned against you, and you're like, well, eating themselves now.
It only takes one. It only takes one person to screw it up for everybody. And I point to Twitch. And you remember they had their safety board, and they brought on the deer person, right? And and they came in and they were like, I'm gonna screw this up, and I'm gonna make this place awesome, and don't you mess with me. And she was like, I have power, and that's how these people feel. Can you imagine?
They do.
Like a moderation,
power hungry.
team? I mean, once again, it goes back to what is awful. It needs very clear rules about that. But she continues. Let's continue on with this as we listen to the CEO of X talk about their upcoming rules and regulations.
Post something that is lawful, but it's awful, you get labeled. You get labeled, you get de-amplified, which means it cannot be shared. And it is certainly demonetized. Back to your direct point about brand safety. So they are protected from the risk of being next to that content. And it's also why it's really important to note that once a post is labeled and it can't be shared, and the user sees that, 30% of the time, they take it down themselves. Staggeringly, they take it down.
So the idea that someone decides, this all comes back to what is advertiser safe, right? That's really what this comes down to.
Right.
So I mean, I have a lot of questions. It goes back to, is a reporter standing in front of a burning building awful? Right.
Right.
Is a girl, like you can go to anything, you can literally say whatever you want is awful. And I'm going to use the extremes because this will be taken out of the extremes. The extreme cases, it goes back to, once again, one little thing sets a precedent, and then it goes from there. This is scary stuff, man. And it really makes me question, like, I've been on board with what Twitter's been throwing down. I mean, I thought Twitter was a shithole for a long time. I quit Twitter. And then I came back on, and that's how we do most of our communication with SideScrollers throughout the day. That's where we find a lot of our stories, and it's still a very great tool for the show. But the idea of what you're going to see here is self-muzzling, just like you do on YouTube, where I don't know if I can say that, so I'm just going to keep it shut. Like the idea of yesterday we had Alex on, and the last 30 minutes of the show, we couldn't even be on YouTube because we're talking about things that may or may not be appropriate for YouTube. What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah, and I don't even understand from a brand perspective how that's even beneficial for them, because it's like we mentioned with Threads before. Look what happened to Threads when we forced this they forced this positivity narrative. Nobody uses it. So why would a brand want to advertise there when nobody's using it? It's clear that controversial content does get views. It gets eyes on it. And it's not the brand's job to police morality on people. They're just trying to sell product. So wouldn't you want to sell product somewhere where there's going to be a bunch of eyes on it? It doesn't mean every single person that views it is going to even agree with it, first of all. But if I'm selling butter, dude, if a furry cult wants to buy my butter, I don't have to approve of a furry cult, but hey, you want to buy my butter? Go ahead.
Right.
I just don't understand why this is such a thing with brands, because their focus should just be selling product, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah, you should have a large target audience. Why are you trying to cut people away? And, there are other platforms out there that sure are not very big right now. But if they need to, people go to them. They'll use other platforms if they can't say anything.
Yep.
If anything's being labeled as awful. And it kind of makes me question Elon Musk right now, because he just went out and was like, I'm going to cover all your bills and stuff like that if you were harassed or fired, on just being on Twitter and liking something. And now he's gone and hired this lady who's basically trying to muzzle everybody. So what's his deal? Is he for freedom of speech or what? Or is it just big money?
Well, my thought is he had to hire someone else to do it, because if he did it, he's going to get, if he outright says all this stuff and starts simping for these brands, which he already kind of started, and then the backlash was real. Well, he had to hire, he gets to be good cop and she gets to be bad cop. He had to hire someone else to do that.
Right.
It's still him hiring it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
still his fault, but I think it's an image protection thing, but
yeah.
I mean, we see right through it.
Well, smart people see right through it, at least.
Yeah.
Well, and the people who don't see through it are pissed anyways, right? So,
yeah,
this is such an interesting thing for someone who is a free speech absolutist, who is this goes against pretty much everything that Elon Musk has said since he bought Twitter. I'm a free speech absolutist. I'm trying to get this platform to move away from advertising revenue, right? That's the whole reason why Twitter Blue and the big push for it exists. That's why you pay for verification, $8 a month, right? $8. You pay $8. You pay $8, so they can avoid having to censor speech, and they can allow you to have that. It's honestly really disappointing. It's really disappointing to see, and he's obviously signing off on all this. I mean, he's the man. He's the man with the plan.
right.
And if this goes through, his response will be, well, you can say whatever you want. We're just not going to show it to anybody.
Yep.
And once again, it goes back to what is awful.
Yep. Can
you define that, Elon Musk? Are you going to be the arbiter of truth? Are you going to be the arbiter of awful? I mean, who knows? So, this leads us to another really good story, which, let me actually finish up here. There's quite a few super chats. You guys are very hot about this, and I appreciate the passion. We got another story that's actually kind of tied to this here in a little bit. Cliff came in and says, ex-enforcers say rules put in place by community. It's a crock. Usually it's one person who makes the rules, but say it's consensus to hide their identity. There is a lot of truth in that. There's a lot of truth in that. Rich says, we typically run about 10 years behind Europe, so what's happening there should scare everyone.
Yep.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate that. And DMAC says, can we see that framed photo closer? You're speaking of the one over my shoulder, I would imagine. Actually is not a framed photo. My mom actually made this for me for my birthday. This is so my mom does this this yarn art. It's not really yarn, but it's like a 3D thing of me.
That's amazing.
Isn't it awesome?
So yeah, it's pretty awesome. She made a little microphone
so cute.
and everything. And anyways, so there you go. It's pretty good stuff.
Isn't it made out of wool, I think?
Yeah, I don't really know the material of it, but it's she's really good at what she does.
Yeah.
I was saying she needs to sell them online. She's opening.
She should do it on Etsy.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good. So anyways, I just pop it back there because it's fun to have. Abomination came in with a Rumble rant, says, I hate the reliance on ads. It's forcing every company to violate our rights.
Yep.
Or it's all a lie and the ads aren't the real reason the companies, or is it all a lie and the ads aren't the real reason companies are doing this? We already know feds were involved in big tech. Yeah, this is, everything you're saying is true for sure. Thanks, Abomination. Appreciate that. And Seth Neon came in with the 10, says, I'm beginning to wonder if Elon bought Twitter under the guise of making it free, but deep down saw revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder that too, because it's just like he bought the platform, pretending to be like this hero of free speech, but in reality, it's just a part of his grandmaster plan to have the one-stop shop for all content and have this profitable webs like content creation portal.
Yeah.
I will
Don't
say
forget,
this.
in China, he was saying that he'll conform to all their like norms and stuff like that. You know, censorship and all their like programs and stuff. So you're like, are you for free speech then, or are you just looking
Yeah.
at the money?
I think that when people look back on the $44 billion that Elon Musk paid, that is, and this is going to sound really crazy, but for what Elon Musk is looking to do, as far as making X an all-in-one app like that Weibo in China or whatever it's called, $44 billion will be a drop in the bucket if everything that Elon Musk thinks can happen with X does happen with X. And that's crazy to think about. It'll be seen as maybe one of the greatest investments of all time. And I know that sounds crazy, but I really believe that. I really believe that. Junior came in and says with the 10, thank you so much, Junior. Says, it's crazy the people who run Twitter don't understand or care about its users. Twitter's selling point is its awfulness, right? And that's kind of what we were talking about with Threads, right? Like that's why Threads user base has dropped off 80%. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I never even applied or like made a Threads account because apparently you can't ever get rid of it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was smart
oh,
of you not to even do it. Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it. Can't make me.
And then D-Mac came back with the 2. Says, hey, Blab, since you have his mom's email, get me one.
You know what's really funny? When you brought up your mom, I was so close to saying I'm still waiting for her email address. So I don't even have it either.
I'm not giving you my mom's email
We
address.
can't be pen pals, man. Come on.
That is listen, that's like taking the toothpaste out of the toothpaste holder. I'm not letting that happen because you can't put it back in, right? You and my mom all of a sudden become BFFs and you're flying down, you're going to dinner, and I'm not dealing with all that nonsense. Not dealing with that. Hey, Nikki came in with the 10, says, go to Gab Social. It is a true free speech platform. YouTube didn't like this as a super chat. I don't know why.
What is
Thanks, Nikki.
Gab
Appreciate
Social?
Gab is another social media platform. It's kind of
Never heard of it.
It was seen as a Twitter alternative a couple years ago, and it's just kind of there as a, it's just kind of there. So, all right, let's move on to this next story here, and this is interesting. Blabs, you brought this to the attention. We're talking about Kick versus Twitch, and this is a Twitch streamer called Tubbo, who looks like he's about 18 years old, maybe 19. I don't know. I don't know anything about this guy, but I guess he was asked about the difference between Twitch and Kick, and he came in with some thoughts about the community. Oh, by the way, he is 19, and he has 5 million followers on Twitch, by the way. Like,
wow.
Could you imagine having 5 million followers at 19 years old? Just how skewed your life perception may be?
Right. That'd be insane. I'm glad I didn't.
I know. Like it's
That's a lot because it's
yeah, it's unrealistic. All right, let's see what he has to say here. This was interesting.
Sapnap, I'm just gonna say, like, frankly, the majority of Sapnap's demographic is people in communities such as LGBTQ.
All right, real quick, just for reference, he's speaking about another streamer going over to Kick.
Okay.
Satnap, I guess is their name.
Sapnap, I'm just gonna say, like, frankly, the majority of Sapnap's demographic is people in communities such as LGBTQIA+, younger demographic and stuff like that. I feel like this platform is not a safe place to be openly trans, not a safe place to be openly Jewish, not a safe place to be black, for example. It's insane.
By the way, did you know that being black, trans, and Jewish are all lumped into one singular thing? Did you know that?
We gotta go bring on a black Jewish trans person now.
Yeah.
Oh man, and be like, congratulations, you win the Oppression Olympics.
To me, I feel like anyone in any of those demographics should be insulted by that. It's like, wow, how thin-skinned are you gonna act like they are? You know?
Look at this
This
guy.
is a 19-year-old
It's just
kid
like
who's
when-
never left his
Yeah,
bedroom
he
before.
doesn't
Right.
get it. And that's just like, you know, if people were to tell me when I hop in an online lobby in a game like COD or something, which I don't even really play COD anymore, but if, oh, be careful, they're going to be mean to you. This isn't safe for you. Dude, get out of here. I can handle it. Like, come
Mhm.
on, man. Like this whole, oh, let me on behalf of them, you know, be their savior. It's insulting.
Mhm.
Never mind the idea that we have a white male
I
speaking
know.
about this. And
Yeah.
this mansplaining that's happening right here. The audacity
The
audacity.
bitch.
of Tubbo. Ridiculous. Just, oh my God. The white savior, here he comes. Okay, let's continue on.
Openly Jewish, not a safe place to be black, for example. It's
The way he
insane.
says it.
Whack!
Black.
And I don't like. I feel like it's great that you want to spearhead that positive change, but also with such a large and powerful voice you have, and so much good you can do with that voice. It's best that you're more responsible with where you want to bring your community, and you have a responsibility to protect them as well.
Okay, so there's the end there.
I got a lot to say about this. This just makes me laugh because he's talking about Twitch. Twitch, which, you know, protects Nadia, protects that bitch who had sex on screen
Yeah.
and banned her for like, what, a day? Slapped her on the wrist, she came back. How many other things has Twitch allowed? And they just pick and choose who they want on. And
Mhm.
Kick has been pretty thorough with, you know, the rules and regulations. And now Kick does have a terms of service. It's mind-boggling. These people, they protect only certain people. And then this guy has the balls with his 5 million subs or whatever. He's like, we're oppressed. We have to stay on Twitch.
Right.
Like, shut up.
It's all his self-interest. He wants people to stay on Twitch because that's the platform he uses. And so he's got to, you know, make this virtuous narrative of why he doesn't want people leaving Twitch. And this will protect your audience. If your audience
just
is
jealous.
adults, come on now. Who do you think you are that you need to protect them? They can't take care of themselves.
Man,
I think she's just jealous, actually. I should
Yeah.
say, because he didn't get the contract and everyone else did because they're going to
Exactly.
Kick. Sucker.
my
Yep.
God. I just went on his Twitter, and this is tweeted, you know, this is his second tweet down. And like, what a God, kids like this drive me crazy. And that make no
Does he need to
mistake.
be slapped?
This is a kid, right? This is a 19-year-old
Yeah.
kid who knows jack shit about anything,
Yeah.
right? Never had a real life experience, has more money than he than
Right.
deserves, right?
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
or knows how to invest or spend or use
Right.
wisely, but feels like he needs to stand up on a pedestal and be the white knight for everybody. And then you go to his Twitter and you see this. Being adult is so hard. I miss this so much.
Oh my God.
What a fucking imbecile. My God.
He needs his safe space, guys, because he's going to go and cry. Because, you know,
Oh my
world
gosh.
scares him.
I do think that he would be a much happier kid. And I say kid because he's to 19, still a kid in a lot of ways.
Still
He'd be
teen,
so
yeah.
much happier if he didn't have 5 million followers and
And went
he was
outside.
working at McDonald's right now and experiencing life as, you know, the rest of us had to, and getting acclimated into the world in that kind of way, instead of just becoming an online sensation and not experiencing actual real life experiences.
So here,
Pretty sure he actually did like a response, didn't he? To that video?
not that I saw, no,
Oh,
but if you did, let me know. No, this is actually is a really good question. What the last thing he said in there is like I don't want to twist his words because I want to make sure we hear this all properly. Let's listen to the last little sentence of this because this is important. It's going to get to my question.
It's best that you're more responsible with where you want to bring your community, and you have a responsibility to protect them.
Okay. Mel, do you have a responsibility to protect your community?
No, my community is mostly adults, and their life, their responsibility. I'm not going to encourage people to do things that are detrimental to their health. But at the end of the day, just like I say, whenever there's these fake scam accounts that happens all the time on Instagram and they're begging people for money, and I can't stop all that, but I can say, hey guys, please just I'm gonna count on you guys to use your brains, not to fall for this stuff. At the end of the day, everybody needs to know how to take care of themselves. I can't protect all my followers. I can't do that.
I think that's the most presumptuous asshole thing that you could possibly think, that you are their daddy. You
Right.
must shield them. I must take care of you. You're my children. Like, sack the fuck up. You know,
Placing way too much importance on himself. It's like
it's insane.
it
It's
ain't
like,
that deep. We're all idiots on the internet. Like every single human being in this world is an idiot, and we are too. It's like we are in no position just because we were fortunate enough to have people follow us and like to watch us. But trust me, we're idiots too. We are in no
I think
position to be
go to, like,
protecting
boot camp.
anybody.
Eric says, "Daddy's mad." That's right. Dude, I this is ridiculous. It is so. I just don't. Okay, here we go. So Pit Lord comes in and says, "It's hypocritical to sit here and pretend like you're not begging too." Unreal, man. At what point have we put our hand out at one point or begged for anything here today at all?
Right.
Pit
And we
Lord,
haven't even accused that guy of begging. We're just saying, like,
right. And at some point, and by the way, I'd like to point out a super chat from Winterfell, Pit Lord. Thanks, Winterfell. Says this kid needs a Halo 2 lobby boot camp.
Oh yeah.
Agreed. So does Pit Lord, apparently. Extra Zero says, what is this trend of yelling at your audience and talking down to them? When did it start? Reminds me of something a funny mustache man did. Funny mustache man. Extra Zero. What is that reference to?
I don't know.
It's ridiculous. I will say this. And Pit Lord says, asking for likes, views, memberships, shares, etc. You mean like playing the YouTube game? The algorithm asking people to like your video is the same as begging?
It's not. Here's the thing. I think I can speak for all of us when I say, if it was at the point to where we have to get on here and say, guys, please give us money. Please give us money. If I don't get this much by this date, then I can't pay my bills. If we got to that point, we'd be getting regular jobs and yeah.
100%. I'm telling you right now, I love this community, right? But I can leave at any time. I have no problem getting off the internet at any time. I'm confident enough in my ability to go find a job off the internet. I did that for a year. I'm fine. I will gladly go do the most menial task ever as long as I'm happy doing it. That's the most important thing to me. And I trust that this community would be fine too. It goes back to, I said this a long time ago to employees at Screw Attack, and apparently it offended them. But I said, look, everybody's replaceable, including me. And that was really important. I said, me, I'm replaceable. We all just have to continue on, right? No matter what. And the community is the same type of way, where there are moving parts at all times. But it's not my job. It's not Melonie's job. It's not this fucking idiot's job, Tubbo. It's not his job to be the umbrella from critiques and the internet for you. Grow the fuck up.
Yeah, it's every single one of us who are doing this. We're lucky to be able to do it. It's not because we're so important and we're so amazing and we need to protect people and we're in this position because of that. We're lucky to do it.
Yeah, we feel. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. Do you know how lucky that is? Like how ridiculously lucky that is. That's crazy. I was doing it when nobody was doing it. And to be able to make a living doing it for that long, like, get out of here. And a nice living. It's been great.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. But it goes back to the idea of like, this guy clearly doesn't treat the father figure nature of this is what drives me the most crazy. And like, if it was like, if there's a community, a member that it's one thing to be there for your community, right?
Right.
Members have hard times. We've had a couple community members in the last few days lose special people to them, right? You out and you say, man, if you need anything, let me know, because that stuff's important to me. I want to make sure they're in a good spot, but it's not my job to protect them from receiving that news.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's insane. It's insane to me, and I don't understand this ridiculousness. Rich wants to know if we've reached the vest goal. Do what you love. It's not about the money. That's a DSP reference. No, Rich. Unfortunately, we are 50 gifted memberships away from our vest goal today. So if anybody wants to drop a 50 bomb, we'll get there. Just kidding. We can't pay our bills. By the way, I talked about this yesterday, Blabs. What would you think about a DSP inspired stream where I stream in role play as DSP?
Oh gosh.
Do the whole thing, bubble blows, vests, the whole play Street Fighter and get pissed about
Oh
it.
god.
Like, wouldn't that be just so funny? I think it'd be so like
oh
have
my god,
all
it
the
would, start
same
like,
goals.
it would start a war on Twitter.
It'd be so funny. It'd be so funny. Oh my god.
no.
Hey, John Connor came in. And John, congratulations on not being killed by the Terminator. Says, this kid sounds brainwashed. That being said, I'm sure his audience are a major reason for his position. And we've seen when people like him don't adhere.
You know, true, because when he was saying all that, I was looking at his chat and they're all going, yes, thank you. Absolutely. That's right. Somebody needed to say it. They're all encouraging him in it. And it's awful.
Because his entire audience are a bunch of children.
Yep.
You know, because once again, you're a child and you have a parent, and
Yep.
parents' jobs are to protect you, right? But he's still a fucking child. Yeah, like legally he can vote, but he's still a fucking child.
And that's why he misses being a child and he's posting his baby pictures because he's tired of role playing his daddy.
you know what the biggest, most infuriating fucking thing about this is, right? Right above this post, being an adult is so hard. I miss this so much. Scroll up to literally the next post he makes. I spent $1 million on PubMed. Fuck yourself.
Look at his freaking cover on his Twitter account. It's like I peed or some bullshit. But if I can share my screen, there's a response from Kick to him if you like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Do you want me to zoom in a little bit?
Yeah. Give it a little zoom and you can go read this thing.
Okay. So this is, I don't even know, Bijan Tirani. I'm sorry I mispronounced it, but he's a co-founder of Kick Streaming. So he responded to this video, and he says, hate speech results in a ban on Kick. We endeavor to protect our Kick family as much as possible. Tubbo Tubbo, I don't know, kid, can you please explain what Twitter and Twitch are doing which make them safer so we can consider? So that was a pretty nice response considering he just slandered Kick, right? So then he responds and says, firstly, Twitter isn't a video on demand service, so it's not comparable. So, you know, free hate speech and all that, go ahead, right? Twitch isn't signing streamers who've been banned on other platforms for hate speech and giving them contracts worth millions of dollars, and especially not making them co-owners of the platform. The clip that's been posted here is missing context of a wider discussion about Kick, Sapnap signing to it and all of its issues, not just the hate speech. I suggest watching the full 2-hour video for all the context. Hate speech results in a ban on Kick. This is laughable, ridiculous. Do you even read the chats of streamers that you sign? Hate speech isn't a matter you should consider. It's absolutely urgent that you go to full lengths to solve this, which you clearly aren't. So you know what I noticed? He says this is missing context, and you watch the whole video, but he doesn't link the video or show the video or anything. Where is it? Then he responds again.
Okay.
He says, while I respect the fact that you clearly care about your community, it's unfair to claim Kick is somehow dangerous for them while simultaneously cultivating your community on Twitter. I say this because I'm confident we do much more. We have platform-wide AI moderation on both video content and chat messages. Our moderation team comprises most of our staff, but ultimately creators have the power to fine-tune their chat rules based upon additional tools we give them. We're a 7-month-old platform that is striving to improve every day. I assure you that Kick is a completely different website than it was months ago and continue to evolve. I'll check your video later, and I'm open to any constructive feedback.
Is that it?
One more. He says, I understand where you're coming from and agree there is work to be done. Give us time. We will get there. I appreciate your suggestions and hope to someday welcome you to Kick. I'll be honest, I kind of feel like he bent the knee a little bit.
I think so too. I don't like that.
Nah.
Yeah.
You mean the Kick co-founder?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Don't like it.
He's just
Wild.
what he wants to do is the co-founder wants to appear like he's playing nice because
Peaceful.
guess what? Tubbo has friends and
Mhm.
they may want to sign Tubbo friends, right? And that's the he's trying to navigate these little waters. When what he should say is, listen, fucker, it's not our job to make sure everybody feels happy all the time.
Mhm.
You know, if you want to do that, grab some Xanax or something. Anyways. Ridiculous. Fox came in with the member for 3 months. Says if you're having fun streaming, have fun with it. Don't look at it like it's all about the money. Thanks, Fox. Appreciate that. And D-Mac came back with the 2. Says, dang it, Craig, starting drama with pig cockroach. No, I'm not going to start any drama. I just think it'd be really funny to do that. And then Tunberry Master came in with the $50
Balls.
super chat. Says it is better if people give freely than the people who are entertaining us do not have to beg. That's right.
There you go.
I will not beg. Will not. Thank you very much, Sunbury Master. That is beyond generous. Balls. It's great.
Balls. Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Big balls.
And Cliff came in with the $4.99. Says, in the Army, I never considered the everyone is replaceable speech as an insult, but a challenge to strive for excellence and become irreplaceable. Man, Cliff, it's almost like you took the challenge and you're like, I'm a fucking man or woman and can do this. Way to go, Cliff. Good for you. That's ridiculously great. AP from the Hills came in with a 10 over on Rumble. Says, I think we still got hope most kids aren't online or listen to wokeness. Last June we saw kids in middle and high schools, they were stepping on pride flags. We just got to keep showing this as a message. I mean, I don't agree with like stepping on other people's flags and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, I think the thing is forcing that in schools is what the issue is, and for that I totally understand. I think letting people, mind your own business and don't get onto people for however they live their own life. But in terms of forcing this on children in schools, hey, I think that action, the measures that they took was valid in that case, and so yeah, that's part of it. And they were forced to do like you have to tell everyone your pronouns, this, that, and the other. And they're like, okay, my pronouns are USA. Get this out of my face. I don't want this forced on me. So in that kind of situation, do it. Rebel. Go ahead.
It's almost like it goes back to my philosophy of you live your life. Just don't tell me how to live mine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm not going to tell you how you live yours. So,
yep.
So, okay. Matthew came in with the 50 balls. Side scrollers with Melonie Mac. Nothing beats it. Hopefully, y'all have a great day. That kid is a cruising for a bruising. He's about to experience a very rude awakening.
Yep.
Matthew, that is outstanding. Yeah, we love having Melonie on, and thank you so much for the 50 balls. Outstanding.
Balls. I need to get like a voice changer so when Adam's not here, I can be like, balls.
That's outstanding. Oh my God. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to tweet this guy and let him know he's a little bitch. I mean, that's ridiculous. Like,
Craig.
I'm telling you, man, like this
Let it out.
Right here. I am, man. This is driving me crazy. This legitimately, this being an adult is so hard. I miss this so much. I spent $1 million. Go fuck yourself, child.
I hate him.
Oh my God, what a presumptuous asshole. Oh my God, sorry. And I'm hopeful because he is a kid.
He's a terrible role model too.
Right.
Terrible role model.
He's a kid and he's not getting to experience that transition from childhood to adulthood like most of us had to. And so he's just not equipped. And hopefully this doesn't ruin him for the rest of his life.
Right. And I'm hopeful that will eventually, like, he'll look back at this and be like, because we all look back on things that we said or did. And
gosh,
like,
yes. Yeah, that's one reason why I'm so glad I didn't have a platform at 19 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a joke. I'm gonna tweet this guy right now. Yeah, it's all emotion. I don't care. I'm gonna tweet. I mean, everybody retweet it. I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry your life is so hard.
Little bitch boy. What? Do like a slapping gif.
Oh my God. Spending $1 million fucking dollars. What a
Dark
piece of
side,
shit.
Craig.
That just drives me crazy. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Okay. I'm back in the show. Okay. NZZ came into the membership, says, get Tubbo on. See how long it takes before you make him cry.
Oh my God, I would love it if Adam was on at the same time. He'd eat him for dinner.
That's crazy. And Saint G says, people like him need a slap back into reality. Oh my God, drives me freaking crazy.
Send him boot camp, military. Send him on to work on a farm, honestly. Make him work 12 hours a day.
Do
Whip
that.
him in shape.
Oh my God. I'm posting it. I'm not tweeting, I'm posting it. God, what a joke. What a joke. Oh, okay. You know what we should all do, because look, when it does become all about the money, and you should probably quit what you're doing or go work for UPS, because good Lord, Melonie, I think we're all just going to quit. We're all going to go work for UPS right now, because UPS drivers to make $170,000 in pay and benefits following a union win.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go date a UPS driver.
I was just thinking, I'm doing all my shopping online. I'm gonna get all dolled up on the tracking my package.
Be like, oh, driver, hello.
Thank you. Dude, do I need to sign my phone number here too?
How about your arm? Is that okay? Call me.
I will say this: we were talking about unions yesterday, and we maybe it was Wednesday. We were talking about unions, and they were talking about how oftentimes in unions, like the idea of a union is good, but oftentimes in principle it gets corrupted by people, because people are asshats, right? And people are out for greed and money, so it becomes a power play. I will say this: $170,000 for a UPS driver is ridiculous. I mean, great for you, UPS union drivers. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, that's insane.
You know what's funny though? They can do this, but the UPS won't give them like winter tires when they actually need it, and so these poor drivers are like driving in horrific weather 24/7, like driving off road, but they get the nice pay raise.
What's FedEx gonna do now? That's the question.
And USPS, because USPS has been really shit lately too. They've been like, they can't get employees because nobody wants to work for them.
Well, and just think about how much your shipping is going to go up after this.
True.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I did you say that already, Blabs? Sorry, I kind of zoned out for a second. Did you say that?
It's fine.
Okay. Did I repeat what you said?
It's okay.
Did I really? Did I repeat that? Sorry, I zoned out. I was reading the story, and then I was like, "What?" Okay. I'm a fucking.
We'll let this mansplanation slide. It's all good.
So they went in, and the UPS CEO Carol Tomey says, we expected negotiations with the teamers to be late and loud, and they were during a meeting call. I guess it was a quarterly call or something. As a result, UPS, primarily to reflect on the volume impact from labor negotiations and the costs associated with the tentative agreement. The deal, which was reached on July 25th, will increase full-time workers' compensation to $170,000 from roughly $145,000. They're already making $145,000 a year.
Over 5 years.
Well, suppose it's going to increase to $170,000 from $145,000 over the next 5 years.
I can't believe they actually make that. I feel like I'm gonna go ask my UPS driver, like, yo, bro, how much do you make? Really? Tell me. I'm a journalist here.
Oh my God, that is
Research.
insane.
No wonder they're so nice.
Right? They're jolly. Look at the money they're making, just rolling in dough.
I mean, I'd feel great if I was driving around making $170K a year, you know? Like that's just insane to me. And I guess go back to the business side of this, because who's ultimately going to pay for it? The people who are paying for shipping. You know? So shipping's
already increased too, so that's gonna be even more fun.
It's crazy to think about. All right, we're gonna move on to our call-in portion here in just a second. I'm going to post the link. If you guys have any questions for Melonie, the link is over at patreon.com/sidescrollers. It is live right now. If you'd like to pop into the show, you're more than welcome to. Make sure you have your webcam on because we want to see your face. I don't do avatars here. I want to see you. I want to talk to you,
All right.
not some bullshit avatar. Make sure your mic is on, and we can talk about whatever you want. We can talk about stories today. You can talk about Tubbo and his idiot takes. You can
Well, should be the wrong name. It's like actually Tubbo.
I mean, the way I see it, Tubbo's fat shaming. So
He's calling us all Tubby Live.
it's ridiculous. Duty Streams is in and says, "Can you tell Melonie I want to have her babies?" Well,
I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but okay.
Yikes.
Are you a UPS driver?
She's got requirements, bro.
that's right.
Number 1, UPS driver, yay or nay.
RL Dog came in and says, when I was a UPS driver over 10 years ago, our top pay was $28.75 an hour. That was after you had been driving for 2 years.
Wow.
Well, everyone's got a raise, dog.
10 years ago.
That is crazy, man. And D-Mac says, not funny. I work at UPS, not a driver.
Oh.
Boo.
Sounds like you need to be get
yeah.
transferred, D-Mac.
Yeah, it sounds like you need to get your truck license. Do they have to have a truck license? I'm assuming so, because they're so big.
Yeah. I would
Man,
think so.
all this would totally change the plot of King of Queens.
Right? No longer broke, will they?
Oh my god, that's awesome. Cliff says in 5 years it'll be enough to keep up with inflation.
There you
Right,
go.
right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wheelbarrowing their money.
Govern me harder, Daddy, please. John came in with the 3 months of membership. Says if someone is different than you, you shouldn't be afraid of them. You should be angry with them. What is my way of life? What is my way of life ain't good enough for you? Thanks, John. Appreciate that. That's ridiculous. And then look at this. Melee Games came in with the 5 gifted memberships to the channel. Melee, thank you so much for that. That is outstanding. That's awesome stuff. Golly. Quick reminder, coming up in just a little bit after the show is done, I'm going to be heading over to the new SideScrollers Plays channel. And on the Plays channel, I'm going to be finishing up Mario Odyssey. I beat the game yesterday, but I have 12 more moons to get. And I'm going to get those 12 moons. We are in the Mushroom Kingdom, which is the post-credit area. It's awesome. So if you haven't yet, head over to the SideScrollers Plays channel and hit the subscribe button so you can catch all the live streams that we do after. Because once again, this channel that you're watching on right now is only for podcast on YouTube, right? It's yours. You're only going to find podcast and clips on a day-to-day basis. So there you go. All right. You want to get to some memes?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Once again, if you guys want to do a call-in, you guys are more than welcome to. The link is over at Patreon right now. Head on over there and grab that. And if nobody does, then cool. Whatever. That's fine too. Let's go over here. Let's check out some of these out. I got these pulled up. Let's go here to Superman. It says, oh my, what is even happening right here? It says Blabs is changing right in front of our eyes. Blay Babs. I love it. Love it.
It looks
more
like
like
the
it.
lipstick that Joey wears in Friends, where he has to try like for that Asian commercial, the blue lipstick. Same thing. It's
Oh, Blabs.
awful.
I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry to hear
Wow.
your losses.
Blay.
And we have this one from Cloud. It says, I have proof that Blabs is actually a child. Oh no. All right, let's see what this is. Oh my god. Blabs, how close is that to look to when you
It's
were actually...
very far, actually.
Okay. You
Oh,
didn't look
really?
like
Doesn't
that?
look like me as a kid.
No? Okay.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think so. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I have dark hair all the time. My teeth are the same.
Mhm.
My nose
crazy.
looks really big too when I was a kid. It's like Barbara Streisand knows what's going on. Oh yeah, no, I would say it's a bit different. I'll show a photo one day, Craig.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Baby photo.
Then we have Extra Zero says what started as a joke ended with Melonie Mac churning and eating from the branch for Vidians at Anthrocon. Do you know what
Oh,
Anthrocon?
that's the furry cult.
Oh, no.
That's it. I'm gonna set up a booth at this Anthrocon. I'm gonna sell butter. Let's go.
Have you actually thought about? I think I actually mentioned this to you before. Have you thought about actually going in and starting a butter company or doing some butter drop shipping?
I haven't, but apparently I need to. I thought about beef jerky at one point, but the price of meat is just too insane. But yeah, I feel like butter would be kind of difficult just for preservation purposes, but who knows?
Melonie Mac's all natty butter. I love it.
Yeah.
Then we have this from Cloud says, "What will happen when Blabs finds Craig's email?" Here we are. Oh boy. Oh, Blabs, you already know this. Here we go.
I love shopping. Shopping! Let's go shopping!
Is it? You guys becoming BFFs going out and doing a little bit of shopping?
I'm not shopping with Craig's mom. We're gonna hit up Marshalls, okay?
Going to Marshalls. Let's go. Love that. Man. Wiley Dave came in with the $20 super chat. Says, "I just retired as a UPS driver. I worked 34 years busting my ass, working 12 hours. Working 12 hours to break 100,000. Rest is effing taxes and benefits. Your body is all beat up. Why should UPS get all the money?"
Wow.
How do you feel about that, Wiley Dave? Do you
We
feel?
should do UPS roundtable.
Hell yeah, we should.
I'm
And,
putting it on the list.
you know, what'd be really funny is you have Dave in, and Dave's like, he's. I'm just imagining him. He has like his arm in a sling. He's beat up. He can hardly walk. Then you got these like new UPS drivers who are coming in. They got their rings on. They're all blinged out. They're like, "What's up?" You know, they're all super rich from their 170K. And Duty is in with the $10 super chat. Says, "Here to help Craig pay the bills." Melonie, you're beautiful. Blabs, you're looking cute as ever.
Cheers.
Duty, don't make it weird.
There's one more meme that I just added in a private chat from Extra Zero.
Thank you. And then Duty gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Duty, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Duty, if you ever want to do anything again, you just say the word. Reach out to me on the old DMs or on Discord. JRO says, "For Mel, why is it the closer I get to God, the more the devil attacks? Or why am I still afraid of judgment? Christ saying, 'Get away from me.'"
Yeah, that's the thing is it's just like you just have to look at it like, hey, Satan and the enemy, he's not going to be wanting to attack someone who's not a threat. So because of your strength, that's the harder it can get. And that's also the kind of connecting that to with what that Tubby dude was saying about, oh, we have to protect our audiences and stuff like this. We have to protect people. People aren't, we have to learn internal strength. And I mean, it's even biblical. Jesus even says, hey, they hate me. They're going to hate you too. Prep for it. So, yeah.
It's crazy. How's church going, Melonie? Going good?
I haven't found a home church yet.
No,
I haven't. I left one because the pastor was talking about toxic masculinity. So,
wow.
Yeah, a little
In a
too woke for
church?
me. So I know. And so I don't know. I've got to get better with that, with actually finding a new church.
Well, there'll be a day. There will be a day in time where you find
Well,
it.
yeah, there's so much corruption going on in the church. So yeah, it's tough out there.
I think that's kind of the most interesting thing. There's always that whataboutism when people talk about all the shit going on with grooming and stuff, and people go, "What about the church?" And it's like, yeah, that's fucked up too.
I know that's what people don't. They think it's a gotcha, and it's like, we don't know this. Like, it's already in the Bible that the corrupted churches are a thing and gonna always be a thing. So
Right.
you ain't. We don't advocate for every single church. That's for sure.
Right. Big Die, thank you very much for coming in as a member. Appreciate that. And then we have, thank you very much, Big Die. D-Mac says, grabbing the link. All right. Thank you very much, D-Mac. Appreciate that. And then we have Extra Zero coming in with this. This is probably the most accurate representation of what's happening. It says, when Craig plays WWE Champions in a couple months, here I am. It's my as my slow evolution into Dark Side Phil happens.
Dark Side Craig.
Yeah, Dark Side Craig. There we go. I think there actually is a parody account called Dark Side Craig. I think there's one on Twitter. Yeah, I think
Oh no.
I think there's like some dude who thought it was gonna be some burn or something, and it's ridiculous. So, anyways, you guys go like my tweet. My I'm sorry your life is so hard, Tubbo tweet. If you guys haven't yet, and go follow me over on Twitter, because if you haven't, I mean, look, I can't get the sweet monetization over there. Like I need to get to that 10K, right? I think that's what I got to get to, whatever it is. Matthew wants to know, says, question: do you need church? Do you need a church to be a good Christian?
No, we have all the tools. You got the Bible free. I strongly recommend to other Christians, read at least one chapter of the Bible every single day. Make it a no exception thing. And you will notice a huge improvement in your walk with Christ. So, that's the most important fundamental there. Finding a good church is always great, but not absolutely necessary. So,
Is he frozen?
I was like, wait, what?
Oh my God, does he move? Are you okay?
I thought my internet dropped for a second.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you were
Craig was
frozen.
dead.
I nearly died. Yeah. It's funny because some I don't know. I guess my internet just decided to stop working. But you guys got me okay?
It was Satan.
You're good
Yes.
now.
Yes. The
We
Lord
just both look over at the same time. We're like, you good?
the Lord didn't want your conversation heard, or at least my conversation heard.
Satan didn't. He's like, let's disconnect it. Go away. Be gone.
Hey, Devin came in as a new, just pledged over at Patreon. Devin, thank you very much over at patreon.com/SideScrollers. Really appreciate that, Devin. Hey, guess what? We're going to have Extra Zero pop in. Extra Zero, great community member, obviously super stud at the Legion. Great stuff. Let's say hi to Extra Zero. Great G to you. Hello, Extra Zero.
What is up, everybody?
Yo.
Hey, good to see you. Yeah, so I'm not just a member. I'm also the producer over on the Legion of Memers. So
stud.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, no, it was an unexpected thing to happen. So working pretty closely with No Green Rocks, Superman, if he wasn't afraid of Green Rocks.
Yep.
And we've got the 1 year anniversary show coming up. So we're going to be reaching out to a bunch of people, trying to get people on for a massive show. We've got some games planned. It's going to be a good time.
Heck yeah.
And, this Saturday, we've got Darth Call coming on, which is also going to be a really awesome show. I'm excited to hear about his, his experiences at SDCC. So, I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow.
Love it.
Tomorrow's Saturday. Oh,
Tomorrow is Saturday. Yeah. it's one of those weeks where it's easy to forget it's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes. Yeah. The week did fly by for sure. Yeah. So
Rox was going to say hi to everybody. So
hey, let me just say something about Rox. He's been doing an awesome job. The last 2 weeks we've been using the last 2 weeks as like a trial to see how slicing and dicing the side scrollers clips have gone, and he's been doing such a great job of slicing and dicing. So big up to No Green Rocks. If anybody needs any freelance video editing, he is a guy to turn to. I trust him. He's done a great job. And we're going to finish up on Friday. Then I'm going to sync up with him, and we're going to figure out what the next steps are. So he's going to be putting out some tutorial videos. So anybody that wants to learn the basics, even if you're not memeing, even if you just want to learn how to edit a basic video with CapCut or just put something together for your YouTube channel, it's not just for memes, like graphic design and digital manipulation. It has a lot of other purposes that I don't think a lot of people really think about. So,
his links are in the chat, guys. Give him a follow.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Extra Zero. Appreciate that, man. You got anything else? You got any questions for Melonie?
I actually have a question for Melonie, because today is day 14 of me being on the carnivore diet.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Well, thank you.
Okay, hold on. Listen, we're gonna.
Okay. So, yeah. So my question is like, the first week I felt I had energy spikes where it was like up and down. So for the first 7 days, I would get periods where I felt very flu-like, but I endured. I did my homework going into it, and I'm not doing that strict of carnivore. Like, I'm not just steak, salt, and
Right. Not
you
like
know.
lion diet full out.
Right.
You're still
So
doing like different meats and cheeses and stuff
exactly.
like that. Okay.
A lot. I can't do organ meat. I just can't
That's
do it.
fine. You don't
Yeah.
have to. You don't have to.
So I do eggs. I eat a lot of eggs.
That's awesome. I love eggs.
But 2 weeks in, I guess my big question is there anything that I should be aware of? Because I find myself, I'm doing OMAD.
Mhm.
So, I eat one huge meal a day, and that's been sustaining me. And it's been
Yeah.
surprising because I don't go to bed hungry and I don't
Right.
wake up hungry. It's great.
Exactly.
But past like the 30-day mark, is there anything that like you experienced or anything that I should kind of be aware of that like, any crashes or anything, or is it kind of uphill?
For me, it all got better over time. Now speaking of like how you said you had a bit of like keto flu type symptoms and stuff,
Yeah.
that's electrolytes. So
Mhm.
supplementing electrolytes can really help with that. Or
Smart
some
water.
people, yeah,
Yeah, that stuff saved me because I was like, oh, I want Gatorade so bad, but I can't have it because of the carbs.
right. But if some people, if they don't want to plunge into like just a complete, no carbs at all, you can try having a little bit of fruit or some raw honey, which, I've been carnivore almost 4 years now. And over the past year, I introduced honey. And so I do notice that does help with electrolyte balance, but there's a balance to it. It depends on what your goals are. Like, if your goals are to lose fat, then you want to limit those as much as possible. But even in general, your priorities should be mostly meat and eggs. And then, some dairy within some moderation. And then, but if you want to try to introduce a little fruit or some honey, I would only keep that at like 5% of whatever your daily intake is.
I do like a splash of milk in my eggs, and that's where I've been.
Right. Yeah, that's great. There's some carnivore police who are just super strict. They don't even like milk. And I'm just like, dude, I'm not that point. Now, the first couple years, I was really strict with it like that. But then I learned, hey, there's some leeway to be had here. And to me, honey that comes from bees, that still constitutes as carnivore for me. And milk, I mean, come on. And especially if you have access to unpasteurized milk, there is just so much nutrients in that. So
there's a dairy farm behind my house, which is pretty cool.
Perfect. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't discourage that. And again, your goals are going to play a big part in that too, because if it is fat loss, then, the dairy, you'll probably not want to eat as much of. You want to, but I would never say don't eat any at all. So
yeah, it's kind of hard not to. It's like you need a break. You need a palate cleanser.
Exactly. You need something that, so even if it's just, for myself, I have dairy mostly on the weekends. So it's like, okay, on the weekdays, I'm a little more strict, but even though I still do have some honey. But it's like, okay, this weekend I'm going to make me this soup that's like 80% cheese. I can't wait.
I guess my final question about it is, because I've heard different and conflicting things. Do you ever do cheat meals?
I have, but I've stopped that because what I notice is whenever I do have cheat meals, it like triggers cravings. And so you have to be Iron Man just to get back on the wagon. And if there were no ill effects from these cheat days or cheat meals, that'd be one thing. But I feel like I got hit by a truck when that happens. Once you just eat super clean for a while, once you have, some Reese's peanut butter cups or especially Taco Bell, I'm really saying what my cheat meals are. You feel like you're going to die after. And I'm not even exaggerating. One day I woke up after eating Taco Bell and I was holding over 10 pounds of water weight and my skin was, I looked like I gained like 30 pounds and my skin was all jiggly. It took like a week for that to go away. So it's unpredictable what's going to happen when you eat junk after you've been eating clean for so long.
My wife's family, they're all Italian and we do one of those Italian Thanksgivings. So it's like, you gotta be able to eat you gotta be able to have Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think on that special occasion, go ahead. You just, be careful and listen to your body. And with it being, especially if it's home cooked meals and stuff, you're probably going to be in you're not going to have as bad of reactions as you would if you were to eat Taco Bell, for example.
I've never had Taco Bell.
Oh,
that's
so
good for you, but I love it.
Camelot made that video and I watched it and I was like, yeah, And then I saw a commercial that volcano tacos are back, and this was before I started the diet. And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh
You're like,
shit, I'm getting a volcano taco."
Right? Yeah. But yeah, it does make getting back on the wagon tough. So if long term you're really prioritizing your health and stuff like that, I would keep cheat days to a minimum.
Yeah.
But I would never tell somebody, hey, on Thanksgiving don't have a cheat, or on Christmas or your birthday, or hey, this is a really special occasion that I have coming up. You know, that's something that you can figure out your balance. And yeah.
I think that when, the idea of like a cheat day, right?
Mhm.
Well, meal
Imply-
is the better way to do it.
Right. A
Yeah.
cheat meal or cheat day. It's interesting to hear y'all talk about this because, you guys, you're living a lifestyle.
Yeah,
right
it's a
now.
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle change. So a cheat meal doesn't really exist. You're just doing the idea. It's more like a conforming to what you previously
Right.
ate meal.
Right.
Yes.
And you've shifted your mind to the idea of like, well, now I'm only going to eat meat and I'm going to eat butter and whatever.
Right.
And the idea of going back and having pizza or Taco Bell or whatever, that's more just like conforming to the old lifestyle. And
Right. But
so-
that's a good point. So it's not so much, it's just briefly that, but that's the thing with carnivore. It's a lifestyle thing for myself. And the reason why I even started it was because I have endometriosis, and so it's to balance my hormones and to give me a better quality of life. And it did just that. And so for me, getting off of the wagon or and stuff like that, it's such a selective and rare thing, because I'm going to be suffering. This was for my health and my quality of life. And so it's not just a diet like, oh, let me do this for a month and then I'm going to eat junk food because I needed to lose 5 pounds. It's not that. Mhm.
Well, that's how I do it. And that's why I fail. So. Well, actually, Zero, appreciate you, buddy. I'm glad
thanks
you're
for
here.
having
It's great to hear your voice. It's always good to see you.
Right on.
Have a good day, buddy. Thanks for what
Hey,
you
you
do.
too. Thank you.
Congratulations, man.
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Great talking to you.
Bye.
All right, good stuff. Lee came in with the 199. That's pounds. Says,
Hey.
quit my church down to certain views. Love Melonie. Hey, thanks, Lee.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. And then we had one more Rumble rant from Nutty Pirate. Says the Church of Priestess Mel. Let's go. Hey, thank you guys very much.
Love it.
All right, that's a great place to stop today. Melonie, thank you very much for coming on. Please let everybody know where they can find you.
Thank you. You guys can find me on YouTube at Melonie Mac Go Boom. Also on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Melonie Mac. And yeah, sometimes I stream on Twitch. I'm trying to figure out an actual schedule for that. Or did I say Twitch? Kick.
Oh.
At Melonie Mac.
Cool. All right, you guys go find her over there. You hit the subscribe button.
There we go.
Wait. How the hell were we not subscribed?
Hey,
I
that
watch your
happens
stuff.
to me all the time, where I'm like, oh, I wasn't subscribed to my friend, where
Right.
I'm on their channel all the time, but you just don't think to subscribe sometimes.
Yeah, I watch your stuff all the time. So
Yeah,
whenever it comes out, but I don't know.
it happens.
The algorithm knows, Melonie. So. All right, great stuff, guys. Thank you very much for popping in. Once again, find me over on the new SideScrollers Plays channel over there. The page itself will look like this when you go to it, because there's nothing on it from a video perspective, but it's all on the live stuff. It's all right there.
Yes, click that live tab. That's what on my streaming channel I had to do. Oh yeah, because I co-stream on YouTube now too. So at Melonie Mac for that.
Perfect. All right, well, I'll see you guys over there at the SideScrollers Plays channel here in about 45 minutes, maybe an hour or so. And we'll finish up Mario Odyssey. And then we're almost done with the Mario Funathon. I can't believe it. One more game to go after this
Wow.
Bowser's Fury, and it's all done. But we'll see what happens today, because people can add moons to my adventure over there. So we'll see what happens. But with that said, thank you guys very much for tuning in this week. What a great week of SideScrollers. Blabs, great job. Trav, great job. Melonie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you guys later. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.